Recently, there was an article in the New York Times that has provoked a lot of discussion and which I feel a need to respond to, highlighting the recent surge of converts in American Orthodoxy, and in particular of conservative young men. The article explains that, in part, they are drawn to Orthodoxy because it's a more demanding, difficult practice of Christianity, and that it affirms and challenges their masculinity. Orthodoxy as masculinity has become sort of a catchphrase for this new surge, and it raises an important question. What do we make of it? For many Orthodox parishes, they have seen growing numbers of inquirers and catechumens coming to their churches. And while such interest is welcome, there's often a shadow side to this that's concerning. See, many of these new inquirers, particularly the young men, have been introduced to Orthodoxy via the internet, specifically through podcasts and live streaming generated by individuals who seem to be representing official Orthodoxy, but whose views often distort Orthodox teaching and reinforce extreme, regressive attitudes that have a seductive, elitist quality to them that many priests are finding challenging to deal with. Such is the aggressive orthobro and orthodoxy as masculinity culture generated online, which promotes a vision of orthodoxy that's deeply misleading and can cause real problems when imported into parishes. Now, while priests don't want to discourage interest in orthodoxy, they want to make sure the orthodoxy perspective converts are exposed to is real orthodoxy. Orthodox theologians and scholars, not to mention the Assembly of Bishops, they're well aware of the challenges this issue raises. There's a deep need for catechesis that highlights the generous and time-honored nature of orthodoxy, at once grounded in tradition and ever open to new life. At a time when Orthodox women are reclaiming their important role in the church, getting advanced degrees in theology, and serving vital roles in parishes, it's alarming to see this branded as feminist agenda, inconsistent with orthodoxy. I mean, being a stay-at-home mom is beautiful, but it doesn't exhaust the possibilities for women serving in the church. And despite the impression the Times article gives, orthodoxy isn't hitched to a social conservatism that excludes those with differing views. And far from promoting an asceticism of masculine toughness, in which the more difficult it is, the more genuine, an Orthodox criterion for true asceticism is about ongoing transformation, body, mind, and spirit, for both men and women. And this is found with balance, not extremism. At a time when our nation is plagued by polarization, both political and cultural, Orthodoxy needs to renew its commitment to Catholicity and to be a church that welcomes people of every race, language, and social class, and where the emphasis is always on preaching the gospel and living it out. As part of this, we need to draw from the living reservoir of spiritual wisdom passed on through the centuries that anchors our life in prayer. This is Orthodoxy's true legacy, and its canopy extends to the limits of the world. Now, as a monastic community, New Skete has always sought to be a place not to turn away from the world, but to be a welcoming community where sincere seekers can bring their journeys and questions, their struggles and hopes into a living environment of faith. We've always believed that what defines orthodoxy best is its generosity and openness, its willingness to dialogue and to actively engage in the difficult work of Christian reconciliation. Buying into an orthodoxy characterized by a distorted, digitalized agenda that's foreign to its true spirit leads us down a false path that, while perhaps putting warm bodies temporarily in the pews, may ultimately violate the very catholicity we proclaim.